They should know. As always, you're on global radio. I think the world's against them because the game's on Pac-12 network.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good to go. Well, pretty similar Sunday. Take a look at the tape, and there's a bunch to learn from, a bunch to like at the same time. Again, offensively, the efficiency, the ability to score like we did was great. It was great to get in a lot of guys toward the end of the game that were quality reps. Really pleased with some of those guys. Jimmy Volson, Ben Goldbranson, John Dunmore, that old line. Tanner Miller did some good stuff. And so a lot to like. Defensively, unique scheme. Showed some stuff early on that was different. And I thought the defensive staff, defensive side of the ball did a great job of adjusting and then settling in. And then there's some a lot to like on the special teams end, and then a lot to clean up. And so we went back to work yesterday and did that, recapping that game. Excited to get back into Research Stadium. Students, counting on them. Again, with school starting on Wednesday, atmosphere, counting on it a big time. Home field advantage. It's another a little bit of adversity for our own group, right? And our players are starting school on Wednesday as well, so handling that piece now is new this week, and getting ready for a big-time opponent. These guys are talented, explosive on offense, done a good job this season, and ranked really high, well-deserved. And so we know we've got a huge challenge coming in. Pretty confident I'm going to get asked about kind of the injury piece. Just want to touch on a couple of guys. Trey Lowe will not be available this game as well. Luke Musgrave will not be available as well. Luke will be a little bit longer, not season ending, but not anytime soon. Everybody else, kind of guys that missed the game and whatnot, we'll know by the end of the week, but I did want to give you those two names, assuming I was going to get asked about it. So our guys got a huge week in front of them and a huge challenge on Saturday, and we're going to dive into it.
Does USC's offense look anything like Boise or Fresno State's?
There's some similarities, personnel groups that have gone. They play with some three receivers. They play with two tight ends, which both those teams did. These guys are pretty good in regards to that. Quarterback can be accurate, move his feet. The receiver play, dangerous, and a bunch of different weapons. Got a couple good backs. So this is the best offense we've played so far.
Do you go back at all to last year's video with USC and look at anything? Do they have any? I mean, is it just a completely different?
It's a different staff, different scheme. There are some players that played in that game, but no, that's not the first film we're watching.
How much confidence do you think your defense can take out of the two games where you've got 8 takeaways in those two games when you're playing against a team like USC? Because it seems like the difference in this game could just come down to takeaway. Who wins that battle?
Yeah, that's always a big piece in games is the turnover, and they've been great with the ball throughout the season. Defensively, special teams wise, trying to create it. They're not going to just give you the ball. You got to create it on defense and whatnot. And again, playing at home, needing our crowd, make it harder on that offense, which is really good. And we got to go play.
What does it mean for the program to be 3-0 going into Pac-12 play?
Well, it's where we wanted to be. Right, you start the season, you got a non-conference schedule, and I think we had some good play there. Not a complete game, all 3 games, but found ways to win. That's what you wanted. But the real season starts now. First of 9 conference games that obviously we want to have the same result.
Thanks for the update on Trey and Luke. What about Everett? Do you have an update on him going?
Similar. Find out toward the end of the week. I do think it affected him, because he's been dealing with some limited practice time, and I think that showed up a little bit on Saturdays. And so we'll see how he feels toward the end of the week.
What do you want to see the defense improve on this week?
Yeah, we got to have our eyes right consistently. And again, I go back to Montana State. Unique scheme. You're not seeing it all the time, and we lost our eyes a few times. That we got to be able to affect the passer. Different scheme we're playing this week than last, and this passer we're playing as good as anybody in the country. We've got to find ways to disrupt him.
Does that worry you a little bit? The level of athlete that USC brings is.
I wouldn't describe it as worry. Each week you're going to have challenges. They get some good players and uniqueness, and credit to them and those guys. But we got to put a plan together and play really hard, discipline with our eyes, getting around the passer in a way that disrupts them.
This might be the last time we see USC at Reser for the foreseeable future. Does that I mean, the guys probably haven't even looked at that. But
Not a ton, and you're probably accurate, but it is, again, our approach to this Saturday, what we get to do, we get to play in front of a great fan base and against a really good team. I think it's going to be exciting.
Trayshawn Harrison, the fourth quarter he had against Fresno, did you feel like that game last Saturday was sort of an extension of what you saw from a confidence standpoint? Did you see him in practice this last week really pick up his play? Because, I mean, he looks like he's the guy you'd hoped he was going to be.
Well, the way he played on Saturday, the way he's cut the ball, and I thought, and it wasn't just Trayshawn, I thought there was an emphasis made throughout the week just of, again, locking in with our eyes, catching the ball, and he did. He played really well on Saturday. Obviously, the end of the Fresno game, he made a couple of plays. I think that helped his confidence, which, again, I appreciate because it didn't go exactly right for him the first couple of games, and he kept battling, and there was a belief in him, and it showed on Saturday.
With Anthony Gould, this is his fourth year. What do you remember about him, when he first came to the program and how he's grown to what he's become?
Yeah, I think the guy is tough. I think he is smart. He works at it. It means something. And over a long period of time, at that approach, he's really earned himself to becoming a good player on offense, on special teams. And it wasn't just, I know he had the nice return last week, but he's been on special teams. We're asking him to make tackles. He's been willing to do that. Really just a good, tough, smart football player.
The 4th-and-1 play where Damian kind of
dribbled it.
Yeah, dribbled off the. You're not going to do that again, are you? When you got Jack Coletto back there.
4th and 1. Again, the play was what we wanted or what we called, and it bounced our way. That was a huge play in the game. I showed the team on Sunday. It's 21-14. 4th and 1, we're going. We don't get that. That could have been a whole lot different. Again. There's always play calls, could have done this or that. I think we scored almost every time we had the ball in that game, and so I didn't give Lingering that hard of a time.
You mentioned the school starting this week. I don't need any names, but do you have any good stories over the years of players, first week of school, because there's got to be some crazy dynamics in that.
Well, I could go way back to when I was, the first weekend of school. There was a lot going on Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and so we addressed that a little bit. And again, I think we got a mature group that knows we're keeping the main thing the main thing.
I feel like biggest question mark for USC entering this year was the defense, particularly the front seven. They've given up a lot of yards this year, but a lot of takeaways as well. Good red zone defense. What stands out to you so far about what they've been able to do on that end?
Yeah, number one stands out the takeaway thing. They've scored themselves on defense. These guys are athletic. That's good defense if you keep them out of the end zone and taking the ball away. These guys got some players up front. 49's as good as D lineman we're going to see. And so they present some challenges. I think they play well in regards to how explosive they are on offense, and then you're taking the ball and keeping them out of the end zone. Makes for a good team.
There's been some pretty big Oregon State upsets over USC over the years. I know sometimes you don't like to look into the past, but do you ever kind of show guys that, kind of try to get them motivated about going to the past over some big upsets over the Trojans?
Right. We haven't shown them that. We haven't talked a ton about it. I think these guys are aware. They're on social media and see some, past games and things. They understand that it comes down to 60 minutes on this Saturday, and that's what really we're focused on.
Obviously, the news over the weekend, Herm Edwards was let go at ASU. He was hired the same year you were. I think there was 20 coaches that year that were hired. You're one of maybe 2 or 3 that are left. How do you come to when do you come to grips in your career with the fleeting nature of this business, to where it's not forever?
Yeah, it's not. It comes with the territory, a little bit of the business. I do even think now in this business, these things are happening mid-season. Maybe 10 years ago didn't happen as often. I got a bunch of respect for Herm Edwards. Enjoyed being around him at meetings and things. But it's the business we've chosen, and that's how it goes sometimes.
I think I'm right on this, but you've never been fired, right?
Well.
Oh wait, that's a.
Yeah. Nope. I've been on staffs. No, I guess they didn't get fired, but I've been in limbo a little bit between head coaches as an assistant. Yeah.
Coach, Lincoln Riley's offense, he kind of came up under Mike Leach in the air raid, but they run it a lot more than
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
the typical area. Maybe tell me what you've seen in the evolution of how he runs his offense.
Yeah, he does it well. They can throw it. They got a good quarterback in it, but they can run the ball. They got a good scheme there where you got to be able to defend both of them because they got a real balance to them. Counter play with with pullers, zone scheme, get the ball on the perimeter, throw it long. They've got some creativity, some unique plays as screen game, trick play. They've got it all. Yeah, and then that's why they had so much success.
And on the other side, I mean, you've competed against Alex Grinch defenses, but his defenses, wherever he's been, always take the ball away a lot.
Yeah.
What is that a function of? Everybody wants to. How do they get it done?
Well, I think he's got his guys playing fast. They know the scheme inside and out, so they can let their talent take over and play aggressive and fly around and collision and tackle well. And that's been his MO a long time. Coach really high-level stuff, got his guys playing fast, and oftentimes that's when you get turnovers.
What makes Caleb Williams such a unique talent at quarterback?
Yeah, just not a lot of flaws. I mean, accurate, poised in the pocket, and that's not easy to do. These guys that are athletic enough to extend the play, oftentimes they get quick to doing that. This guy's going to stand in the pocket, keep his eyes down the field, good protection, know when he's getting blitzed, ball comes out. When he's got protection, he just stands back there. And so really, really good, talented quarterback.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.